Hey everyone, Caroline here. Sunny is also here, but he's not in my t-shirt on me at the minute. He's enjoying a late afternoon snack. Let's see if he actually lets me do this video. I have so many adventure stories to share with you about this massive collection that I acquired from WA. So, while I'm telling you about it though, I'm going to show you the ponies that I will be putting straight into my display. I couldn't wait for these ones. So this collection acquisition process or journey, it's called a journey, it sounds a little bit more Lord of the Rings and epic, started about 2.5 months ago. So I'm not going to tell you too much about the seller because that's not my business to tell, but I was in contact with the seller who was selling this collection. It was their collection. They're a longer than me term collector, really knowledgeable, really awesome, and she was no longer collecting and she wanted to sell her collection in one go. So we discussed it, we planned it, and yeah, so I started organizing a trip from Queensland to WA to go and get this collection. So first one, Leaper. Oh, love green ponies. There's more green ponies than you think there are, but isn't he cute? Look at him. Isn't he gorgeous? He's beautiful. I love Leaper. But anyway, so that's Leaper. So he went into my collection. I'm gonna get so distracted, so I'm gonna try and tell you about this journey mission, and I'm going to pull up a pony and get so distracted and forget what I was saying. So anyway, so organizing. So booking flights, booking accommodation, booking car hire, organizing couriers. The thing about it was that I had a fair idea how many ponies there are, but I also didn't want to underestimate it. So I was getting quotes from 50 kilograms worth of ponies to 150 kilograms worth of ponies. And I had planned 2 days to pack this collection up. Organized it with the seller. So Wednesday, I could only book. Look at her colors. Look at that color. Isn't she amazing? So there was only one flight that I wanted. I wanted a one-way flight, and I wanted it late on the Wednesday because I also work full time. And I wanted to be able to go to work because I've got a little bit short staff. It's that time of the year. It's winter. Everyone's sick. And it's Lavender Woozy. Oh, isn't she awesome? Anyway, everyone was sick, so I had to go to work that day. So I had to book a 6:45 flight from Queensland to WA. There was only one airline that did this non-stop, and it's Jetstar. And anyone who lives in Australia and has to travel on occasion knows that Jetstar is not exactly the most prestige of carriers when it comes to flying. Isn't she groovy, man? I've never had one. I love her symbols. Whee. Anyway, so got there, 2 hours to spare. Basically flying with empty suitcases, and onwards and upwards I go. Jump onto the plane, 6:45, and it was so tight. It was such a cramped little space, but it was perfect for me. Stuck the headphones in, rolled up my cardigan, and I basically slept for the first 2 hours. Unfortunately, there was a child on the plane, and I think the takeoff hurt their ears. The poor wee thing, it was crying. I think it was a she was crying for hours and hours. I felt so sad for her. But apart from that, it was an amazing flight for Jetstar. Who would have thought? Twice as fancy babies. All the babies that I've already put into my display have all been the twice as fancy babies, and I actually needed her for set completer. So you can see I had the 4, but I need 2 to set completer. So she went into my display. They're so cute, man. Well, I have to mail order the nicest ponies. Anyway, so arrived. It's WA is 2 hours behind Queensland, so it was telling me it was 10 o'clock at night. It was not. It was midnight. I was tired. I'm not rock and roll lifestyle anymore. I'm in bed by 9. I'm asleep by 9:30. I'm snoring my head off by midnight. I was just rocking up to Perth Airport at what would have been midnight my time. Ah, isn't she so cute? Right. Oh. So they're the two I needed to set complete. So, and they're mine now, and she's got lovely pink hair. But anyway, we will have a pause, so I will tell you more, and we've got so many ponies to go through that just went into my collection. Never mind later videos where we're gonna swim through those suitcases of ponies that I've got. So, I'm at Perth Airport. It's 10 o'clock Perth time, midnight Queensland time. And I had basically sorted out that I would get a hire car. But I picked a medium size hire car because I knew I had no idea how many boxes and ponies and whatnot would fit in the car. Really? Isn't she gorgeous? Look at her tooth. Lovely pink hair. They're in such nice condition too. Anyway. So, no idea where I'm going, no idea where I am, no idea what time it is, no idea where Europcar car rentals was. Rock up to Europcar. The car that I hired wasn't available. So they had to put me down a size. Yay. And they're handing me the keys and they're basically shoving me out the door, telling me what car spot, that was car park and car spot all at the same time. So the car spark, we're going with that now. They told me where it was. So I got up to the car. I figured out how to unlock it. Got my suitcases in, sat down. Oh, she's so cute. She's so vibrant. Such a good yellow. I like, I do like whenever there's different colors, but sometimes the color matching between the hair and the body, it just looks so good. Dancing butterflies. Isn't she gorgeous? But anyway, the butterflies. She's so cute. So I get into this thing. Never been in a Kona before. Never even driven a Hyundai before. So get in, and I'm like, right, okay, that's wrong. I had booked a motel just around the corner from the airport, knowing that there's no way I would feel comfortable driving at night in a different state, in a very new car that I've never dealt with before. I'm sitting in it. It's a steering wheel. In the middle, there's no gear stick. There's no nothing. There's a charger to put your phone. There's the stereo, which I can't figure out. There's no GPS on it. There's aircon there, but it's all like push up, push down. It's all buttons. There's no dials. And I'm thinking, how do I put this thing in drive? Wait, how do I put it in reverse? How do I find the motel? Because I just assumed there would be GPS. Milky Way, she's so cute. Oh. I love them. I really do. So I'm sitting there for 15 minutes trying to figure out how to get this car. I knew how to start it. I figured out how to start it. There was a start button and it said start on it. So that was a great start. But I finally seen something that said P, D, P, and R. And I was thinking, well, that must be it. But it was like a lever off the steering column. And it had like this thing at the end of it. I'm thinking, so I'm trying to push things. I'm trying to push it up, trying to push it down. Hi. Took me 15 minutes to figure out that you twist the end of it to put it into drive. It's not very user friendly, but that's okay because I'm a little bit old school. Anyway, figured out how to put it into drive. Sugarberry, she is a little yellowed. I think my own one's a little bit wider, so my own one might stay and this one might go on the website. Isn't she cute? So I figured out how to put it into gear, and then I'm like, but wait, how do I figure out where I'm going? It had Apple Play. Yes. I was able to hook it up, get myself ready, get myself out, figured out where this motel was. Boom, done. Got into the motel car park. How do you park it? How do you put it in park? Where's the park brake? How do I do that? 10 minutes. 10 minutes, I swear. It took me about 30 minutes to get out of the car park of your car. Now I'm just sitting in the middle of the driveway. Thankfully, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning by this point. Trying to figure out how to park this thing. So I got it into the spot and put the brake on, but how do I put it in the park? There's a button. It's a button. At the end of this lever, there's a rubberized button. You press it, puts it in the park. It's okay. It's okay. I figured it out in the end. It's okay. So finally got parked in, checked in. Think about when you check into places, sometimes they forget that this is the first time you've ever been there. And this thing was like a labyrinth. And I was in room 4000 and something. And I'm like, where is it? And they're like, that way. And just pointed in a direction. I was like, okay. Finally found it. Finally got parked. Finally figured it all out. Collapsed in the bed. I was so down. I was so down. That was a Wednesday. Is this Splish, Splosh, or Splash? I can never remember. But you know what she is? She's cute. That's what she is. I love green ponies. I love green ponies. She's very cute. Her hair's a little drawn. We'll fix that. That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. So the rest of her sisters are coming. Stay tuned for the rest. Sonny's put himself away. But I don't think he's going to scream for once. Let's see if we can get through this. So Thursday. I always book somewhere that can provide breakfast. So there was the breakfast. Yum yum. Buffet breakfast, of course, yeah. Breakfast, got myself all packed up, checked out, jumped in the car, figured it all out. Let's hit the road. Onwards to this collector's place. Let's go view this collection if I'm happy with it. Making the payment. I'm eating 2-minute noodles for the next 5 years of my life, but I'm getting an amazing collection. Speaking of amazing collection. Aren't they cute, man? That's such tropical colors. So cute. So on the road. Now, in Queensland, whenever you get on a highway, you're doing 100 kilometers an hour for usually about 100 kilometers. Not in WA, you're not. So you're 100 kilometers for maybe like 2 minutes, and then it's a roundabout or a set of traffic lights. Every 2 to 3 minutes, you're speeding up to 100 k's and then you're slowing right down again. But everything seems to be about 20 or 30 minutes from the airport, unless you live. It's so in WA, what I've discovered. By the way, look at that! Isn't that the cutest? In WA, you're either 20 or 30 minutes from Perth, or you're 3 to 4 hours from Perth. There's no in between. You're either really close, or you're really feckin' far away. So, 20 to 30 minutes it would take to get to this place. Oh, it was beautiful. The place was like a nice bush area. I'm a rural girl. I live in a rural area, and this was in a rural area. Pull up finally, meet the collector, and we click. Boom, like that. Instant. I adore this woman. Like, she's amazing. She's so knowledgeable. She's so many brilliant ponies. But she's so kind. And I really got on with her. I really got on well with her. I'm not biased after getting all these or anything like that. Like, seriously. Aren't they gorgeous? It's the sweetie baby ponies. Twice as fancies. They're so cute. So, she brings me to where the collection is. The view before making payment. Opens the door, and I swear there was a heavenly choir. She opens the door and it's just ponies. And honestly, I was a little bit dumbstruck for the first, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes. I was just look at all these ponies. You know, these are incredible. Speaking of incredible ponies, licorice. Look at her. She's so cute. hair. I like that pose. You know, the head up pose, like the baby Cherry's Jubilee, Baby Blossom, and Baby Cotton Candy, I think, have it as well. Look at them. Anyway, cute, cute, cute. So, yes. So, grade done. And it was actually in this t-shirt, a black suit jacket, black jeans, and of course my, you know, on vibe purple Converses. So, I do not have a style, trust me. And she was like, here you go, here's loads of boxes, here's bubble wrap, scissors, tape, you get packing that collection because that thing's yours now. And I'm like, okay, I'm so glad that I like planned for 2 days to do this. Then I turned around and I said, would you mind if I got changed into my pajama bottoms to do this? She was like, of course. Oh my god, they were so much easier than trying to do all this bending and stuff like that in jeans. I'm so glad that I had the guts to actually say, can I get changed into my pajama bottoms in your house to pack down this collection? So much easier. The last of the Sweetie Ponies. Green. I love green. I'm a green girl now. You know, when you're younger, it's all, you know, purple, red, black. But as I got older, I've loved the green. Purple, red, black. Can you tell I was a goth child? So, no, I'm pastel goth. She's so cute. She is so cute. Reminds me of Lemon Drop. Speaking of Lemon Drop, look, it's Spanish baby Lemon Drop. How can I tell? I can't. I'm assuming because maybe she's not. Does she have? No, she's got Hasbro pending, but she's got no country on her, so I'm assuming she's Spanish. But she's so cute. By the way, do you like my bow tie nails? So yeah, but she's got the lots of symbols, lots of drops. So I've been chasing this one for a while. I'm assuming she's Spanish. Please correct me if I'm wrong. She's got a really cool, if you look, she's got a massive hair plug. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, cool. Isn't she cool? So yes, it was time to pack the collection packing day. This lovely woman, this seller, just leaves me alone to do it. She's just like, there you go for your life. Who does that? Who just lets a stranger into their house, gives them the run of the house, and just says, yeah, go for your life? It was awesome. It was so much trust. Like, yeah. But we sat down, we had big conversations first, so it was really, really, really nice. Look at her. Isn't she so cute? Got the little ringlets. I love the lit year babies. I really do. She is so cute, man. Straight into the display collection, I'll tell you that much. How often do you get to see them? Never mind have them. They're awesome. So, and I thought I was going to take 2 days to pack up this collection. Headphones in, pajama bottoms on, all locked in. 5 hours later, there was 100 kilograms worth of ponies between suitcases, boxes, and bigger boxes. I could not believe it. This is a Thursday. We even stopped for lunch and stopped for breaks and stopped for chats. I got that collection packed. Now, don't get me wrong, I packed like an absolute psycho. I have towards the end, there's boxes with just like bubble wrap on the bottom, and the ponies were just being shoved in, maybe a layer or two in between, bubble wrap on the top, and then sellotaping that box closed. I did not have the time to be individually packing these ponies. There's no way. That would have been a week-long job, never mind a 2-day job. But one day, got it done, because I pack like a psycho. But these weren't packed like a psycho. These were individually wrapped with bubble wrap in my carry-on luggage. These weren't going anywhere without some protection. Isn't she cute? So that was done. So left her place, dropped off 15 kilos to Australia Post, Went to my next lot of accommodation, checked in, left my suitcases with all the most valuable ponies were in those suitcases. Back to her place, loaded that car up with another 55 kilos worth of boxes. Boom, I was done. Because the next day, the Friday, was my birthday. And I wanted to make sure it was done, dusted. I was meant to meet a friend for... We were going to go to Rottnest Island and steal a quokka, but it didn't happen. There was a massive storm that hit Perth that Thursday night, and she couldn't make it. She had other things happening. So that means that I had my birthday all myself. I was going to play with ponies. I was going to eat whatever I wanted and do whatever I wanted. It's Bobby. It's Bobby Variant 1. How cool is she? I love the interesting, weird variants. Now, this is obviously is it Tall Tales, Happy Tales variant from the UK? No mechanism or anything like that, and I'm pretty sure I remember this being sold, and I missed out on her. And I'm pretty sure it was a friend of mine that was selling her. But isn't she cool? I love her. Bobby. She's mine. Woo! So, Friday, well, it's Thursday night. So this place was on the Canning River. It's beautiful. It's like all these little cabins. Mine was right at the edge. So it was mine, a little roadway, the car, and then the river. It was stunning. Stunning. It was like a weir right outside the little cabin. You can hear the river. It's late Thursday night and the storm's rolling in, and it's just so peaceful. You can just hear the rain hitting on the roof. Oh, time to relax. And then I hear this, I'm thinking, oh no, the neighbors are fighting. I hate that. And I go up to the window, and I open the window to have a listen. It was the ibis. So it was the ibis had roosted right outside the cabinet. It sounded like the neighbors were fighting, so I was safe there. But it was nice. It was peaceful. Spanish baby bow tie. Isn't she gorgeous? I love that different pose. That's the Cuddles Tiddlywinks pose. So this one actually came mint in box as well with her little buggy thing. So that's really cool. That's really cool. She's gone straight into my collection of so many bow ties. So this massive storm hit Friday morning. It was driving about 45 minutes to an hour out to the couriers to drop off that last 55 kilos worth of boxes, and it was teeming down. It was really easy though, because of those breaks in the highway that slow down, 70, so on and so forth, made it so much easier to drive because you're constantly being slowed down. She may look manky and may look damaged, but she is just perfect to me. Look at her. Never thought I'd have her. Now I do. Isn't she cool? I won't go through the boring stuff. So, to the couriers, dropped all the boxes off, done. Back to the accommodation. So I got back to the accommodation around lunchtime. This is the German Clover. So she's got like the peach body. I have the other Clover somewhere here, so just as a comparison, so you can see the different colors. I do like this one, but something special about the German variant, isn't there? So, lunchtime. Thing is, I was exhausted by then. I had done so much. I packed 70 kilos worth of ponies. I just wanted lunch, man, but I just wanted something simple. And the accommodation restaurant had, deep fried gold plated onions with halloumi and feta on goat spit or something. I don't know. Those weird burgers with everything in them. I just want a cheeseburger, man. I just want a cheeseburger or something simple. Speaking of simple, no tinsel. Look at that. This Starburst. I always think of the sweet that you get in Australia. So that's the UK variant with no medallion. Isn't she cool? Straight into the display collection. So The only thing is, the only thing on the menu that was simple was on the seniors menu. Just so happened that Friday was my birthday. So I go up to the restaurant and I'm like, hey, I really want the cheeseburger off the seniors menu. Do you need a seniors card to order off the seniors menu? And they all sort of, looked at each other, not too sure what the answer was. I was like, I'm 43 today, but my body feels like it's over 60. And the girl that was behind the counter looked at me dead in the eyes and she said, close enough. And I got my cheeseburger. I got my cheeseburger lunch. I was so happy and it was so nice. It was the tastiest cheeseburger I had in my life. Tastiest cheeseburger I had in my life. Look at Ruby. Isn't it cool? I actually really like this sort of sky blue, tealy sort of color. Again, no tinsel. I think she's variant 1 or variant 2. I can't remember. I have to check the wiki. Always check the wiki. If it's not the wiki, it's Summer's book, the G1 Bible. How cool is she? So, and then the rest of Friday, my birthday, was chillaxing, playing some people. No, we won't go there. It's just relaxing, having fun. I had so many calls from friends, from family. Got to catch up. My partner G set up one of our home security cameras outside of Sunny's room, so we had Sunny Cam, so I could log into our security system and see Sunny at any time. It was brilliant. It was amazing. So he knows me so well. And then I went out for dinner, and dinner was lovely. I had a pizza with, it was like a 4-cheese pizza, pint of beer, and some truffle oil. It was such a nice pizza too. And initially we get these little creatures called bandicoots, and if you didn't know it was a bandicoot, you would think it was the rat the size of a small house cat. And I'm just gonna pause because Sunny's whatnot. I'm back. I had to go get him because he was starting to scream. So went to dinner. Oh yeah, bandicoots. So if you didn't know it was bandicoot, you think it was a rat the size of a house cat. So I'm sitting watching this bandicoot just under the tables. He was finding crust and and there was a couple over on the other end of the table, and it was the best thing watching him run up to their table and then freak out. It was so funny. I was like, it's okay, it's just a bandicoot, it's not a rat, I swear. I was thinking the rats in WA are freaking huge. So yeah, that was it. And then Saturday morning, she's got her necklace. She's got her necklace. And she's got her ring. How often do you find that, man? How cool. Have you seen the necklace? The necklace is so cool. Ruby. Her tinsel's a little crinkled, but she's in really good nick. Saturday morning. All these boxes are all packed up. Couriers are gone. Australia Post is gone. It's making its way back to Queensland as I'm there. And then it's getting 3 suitcases completely full of ponies out of the room, into the car. Time to get checked out and then have breakfast with Renee. So Renee's in WA, very good friend of mine. Got to sit down and have breakfast with one of my favourite people. So I was really, really happy about that. So we had a wonderful 2 hours together. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I'm going to have to go back. There's so many people that I would love to have connected with. Diamond! Her tinsel's in much better nick than Ruby's. But she doesn't have her... I think she had a ring as well. I'm not sure. But she is beautiful. Made in China. Aren't they gorgeous? So then it was time to make my way back to the airport. So I had to stop at a shop and get something, and everyone in WA reverse parks into the spots. Not in Queensland. Queensland we just do whatever we can do and get away with. By the way, there was only one bad driver whenever I was over there, and they just so happened to have Queensland plates, so WA, you're not as bad as you think you are. So trying to get reverse parked in, thankfully a local person who was able to sort of help me get into it. Oh, it was so embarrassing trying to get this weird little car in. It was beeping at me from every angle and trying to twist the knob thingy to try and get it into reverse, and thankfully I didn't damage any car, not the one I was in nor the others beside me, so it's good crack. Look at that hair. Oh, you're not going to be able to wipe the smile off my face for years. Isn't she so cool? Oh, is that a mark? Oh, that looks like a little bit of paint. That's paint though, that'll come off with a little bit of acetone. I have to be really careful though. I'll have to double check to make sure that it's not some sort of weird factory error, because I'm not overtly familiar with these ponies, but isn't she beautiful? So eventually made my way back to the airport, got parked in, me and my 30 kilos worth of ponies through the airport. I had my carry-on, and I can tell you, everyone you've seen so far was on my carry-on. You know who else was on my carry-on? This... I do not want to butcher her actual name, but I think she's Birthday or Candle. She's the Greek Easter pony. Isn't she gorgeous? I love their eyes. How lucky am I? Lucky is what I am. Isn't she cool? So I check in these bags. I can just imagine, like, if they had have opened those bags, it would have been like, huh, there's no clothes in here, just ponies. And I have no clothes in my check-in or my carry-on. There was clothes, but they were being used to pack the layers because there were so many ponies. And so I got myself into the business lounge, found a little corner that I could build a nest in, hole up, and just wait out my flight to come back. And it was very uneventful. I got on my flight. 5 hours later, I was back in Queensland. No luggage was lost. Thank God. Can you imagine if this girl went missing? They're so cool. No luggage was lost. I got home. I missed my G and my Sonny. He couldn't come with me. And the world went back to normal by the next day. It was almost a week ago, and it feels like it was a dream. But I tell you something that's a dream. This girl's a dream. Brazilian bow tie. Isn't she amazing? I love green ponies. May have said that once or twice. How cool is she? She's not the most expensive pony in this collection I've acquired, but she's certainly one of the most interesting. She's cool. So, what I'm going to do though is I'll do a tour of the suitcases, because there's just so many Nirvanas in these suitcases. So many Nirvanas. I'll do a tour of the suitcases, and then as the boxes will arrive, I'll take you on an opening tour. I've got about 15 kilos worth that have arrived. I can unbox them with you guys so you can see all the fun and enjoy it at the same time as me. It's so exciting. But anyway, thank you. That's my story. That's how this came about. That's how all this happened. And that was my big adventure to WA for a massive collection, and I'm one of the luckiest pony people I can think of.